Hello and welcome to our next session. And I'm honored to have Dr. Coghill again back this year. Personally, you teach me very much every time that you speak, and I'm very grateful for you being here today. So thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to learning about your topic more.
All righty. I am going to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat and I will answer them at the end. And of course, I will also leave time at the end for any questions. And if you are watching this as a playback, you can also send me questions as well. My information should be on the website, and I also have a slide at the end with my information as well. So I'm back again for a second year with the Shield Conference. I love this conference a lot because it allows people globally to talk about issues dealing with online safety. And this year, I'm coming in a different capacity. I'm coming as the Community Safety and Support Steward for Black Sky Algorithms. And we are a tech company that are building tools for a intercommunal internet where it is self-governed by the community. Our priority is to make sure that our community feels like they can come together to make democratic decisions on our moderation, also making decisions around some of the features that we build as well. So I'll be talking mainly today about how we are mitigating anti-Black racism and also digital misogynoir on a decentralized network. So just a little background about Black Sky Algorithms. It was founded by Rudy Frazier, who is a technologist based in New York. And one of the things that Rudy thought was really important was to bring his own organizing roots and love for community and technology into this decentralized place. And he started with the Black Sky feed, and the feed allowed Black users to be able to, communicate and have conversations. And as the feed began to grow, Rudy realized that there also needs to be a moderation tool as well. And that's when he created the Black Sky moderation tool that allows us to moderate any instances of anti-Blackness and misogynoir, along with white supremacy and violence, doxing, so on and so forth, which I'll talk about more today. And then we moved into creating our own server. So we are completely independent and people can migrate to our server or they can join us at blacksky.community, and I'll have that information at the end as well. And we have some things coming down the pipe. I'm going to talk a little bit about Acorn today, which is where we moderate all of the reports that we get. We do have Black Sky only posts that will be coming this spring, and we also have Black Sky Cash coming as well. So, what I want to talk about is self-governance. So, it was really important for Black Sky to make sure that the community had a say into how Black Sky was ran, what type of features were created, and how we dealt with different things that happened on the feed. So, we use something called Black Sky's People Assembly, which is built through Polis, and it allows folks to log in with their Black Sky account and they can create a conversation. They can choose, as you can see in this particular screen on the right, far right, they can choose what the topic is, what the description, and they can add comments to it. And when it goes live, they can have other people add comments to it as well for people to vote on those comments. It gives you the option to agree, to disagree, and also pass/unsure. And what's really amazing about this is that you can also set up an email so that way you can get an email when a new question is added to the poll list so you can go back in and vote on it. When I first started working for Black Sky as a volunteer moderator back in 2024, yeah, wow, it's been a while. Back in 2024, um, we only had two labels outside of like the basic labels like spam, and they were anti-Black harassment and misogynoir. And one thing that I noticed while doing a lot of the moderation was that there were a lot of instances of other forms of anti-Black racism and things that impacted the Black users that were happening. And I wanted to come up with some different labels, and I created a polis. And as you can see at the bottom left, these were how many people viewed it, how many people participated, and this allowed us to be able to build out more of our labels. And what's great about this is that based on whatever the data shows once the polis is closed is what we use to make that final decision. So the actual community base got to vote on these labels that I came up with as not only a volunteer moderator at the time, but also as someone who is actively on Black Sky. And that for me was very affirming because for those that don't know, I've been studying digital misogynoir for over a decade now. And one of the things that I talk a lot about in my research is how there aren't moderation tools that actually combat these forms of harm that directly impact Black women, non-binary, and gender expansive people. And misogynoir, for those who don't know, is the anti-Black racism and sexism that Black women, non-binary, and gender expansive people experience. And I look at how it shows up in the digital space. So I was really excited to learn about Black Sky in 2024, and even more excited to become a part of the volunteer moderation team in the beginning because it allowed me to take my research, my own experiences as a survivor of digital misogynoir, and use it to actually create and enact actual change on Black Sky. So the screen that you're seeing right here is what our setup looks like. So if you're using blacksky.community, your moderation for Black Sky is already baked in. So you don't have to subscribe to the channel to this particular moderation tool, but you can go to the moderation.blacksky.app page and you can choose how you want these things to show up, right? So in this middle screen, as you can see, we have synthetic media, which is any types of form of media that uses artificial intelligence to create misinformation, disinformation. This also can include deepfake porn and things of that nature, right? We have violence, and this is violence that is directly directed at Black folks. We have white supremacy or anti-Black rhetoric, and this also includes internalized anti-Blackness as well that can show up in most digital and offline spaces. Doxing, of course, non-consensual intimate imagery. CSAM is also included in this as well. Misogynoir, as I talked about earlier, and anti-Black harassment. And in the middle, you'll see it says off, warn, hide. And basically what this says is that you can decide what you want to show up on your page, right? So if someone posts something that gets reported and receives a particular label, based on what you choose, you will either see it or it will be hidden, or you'll get like a warning and you can click the warning to have it expand, right? You also have the option to show badges. So that basically means, as you can see in the bottom right, is that these are the labels that come up on the accounts, and it will show you if someone's account has been labeled or their post has been labeled as any of these particular forms of harm. And so far, as of last year's data, we have completed about over 41,000 reports with human moderators. We have a very small volunteer moderation team, and 583 of those reports were labeled as misogynoir as of October 2025. And for myself as a researcher and also as someone who has experienced and witnessed digital misogynoir, it is very exciting to know that although it may not be possible to have this very like completely safe internet, that there is a possibility for it to be mitigated. So on the right, I was talking about the different types of labels that we have, and anyone can suggest labels using People's Assembly, like I talked about earlier. I suggested labels as a volunteer moderator at the time, and anyone can go into Polis and they can create a poll and a voting measure for Black Skies People's Assembly. They can post it to the skyline, as we call it, or the feed, and people can weigh in on it, right? So one of the things that we are doing internally is that we are constantly looking at the reports that come in and seeing if the reports need particular labels. So recently, myself and our trust and safety lead, who has years long experience of working with large social media platforms dealing with moderation, are also looking at ways that we can label things like fat phobia and colorism that do fall under anti-Black rhetoric, but sometimes the reports can be very specific, and we want to make sure that we have very comprehensive labels, right? We've also been looking at the label for trans misogynoir because misogynoir does house all forms of misogynoir, but we also want to make sure that we're educating our community as well on there is a difference within the misogynoir umbrella. And like I said, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat and I will answer them at the end. So I wanted to give an example of posts that have been labeled in the past as misogynoir. So back in November, I did a webinar for Black Sky on a app called Streamplace, and I basically talked about what digital misogynoir is. I gave examples directly from the feed and from BlackSky.community, and I explained how it was misogynoir, why it was labeled, what the appeal process looks like if your account is labeled, and then also how we are particularly dealing with this. So for this particular screen, there are three different examples of misogynoir, digital misogynoir, if you will. The top one is talking about the movie Sinners, and this post was labeled as misogynoir because it is fetishizing the Black women, and it is also really leaning into anti-Black rhetoric with talking about the characters based on their appearances, um, using the terms like big magical, as you can see, um, is really fetishizing and dehumanizing the Black woman in the film. So that was labeled as misogynoir. And then at the bottom left, you all see a photo of Vice President Kamala Harris and then a photo of a hyena. And someone put that that was her spirit animal. Not only is this a form of misogynoir, this is also extremely inappropriate to the indigenous community as well to use the terminology spirit animal. So this was labeled as misogynoir. The last one at the bottom is a photo of former First Lady Michelle Obama and current First Lady Melania Trump. And it says that there are only two genders, male and female. Everything else is illusion or mental illness. Not only is this sanist and ableist, it is also a form of misogynoir and trans misogynoir. And that's why it was labeled. And on top of that, when this was labeled, we had not released all of the new labels yet, but this will also be considered a form of synthetic media because the photo on the left is clearly altered by artificial intelligence in order to make Michelle Obama look more masculine, right? So when it comes to accounts being labeled, people are allowed to appeal. They're allowed to appeal any label that they receive on their page or their account, and they can contact us directly, and we will investigate, look through the reports to see if the label is correct. And if we find that the label is incorrect, we will remove it. But most of the time when we label content, it has been thoroughly looked at and investigated, and there's also typically a long history, right, of these types of harm happening with particular accounts. So I want to introduce something that we have not talked about as of yet on Black Sky in particular, but I wanted to share this with you all just so you all can see where we're going for the future. So our team is really inspired by the work of Octavia Butler. Who isn't, right? She was a prolific writer and a prophetic writer. And Parable of the Sower, they particularly call the area that they create at the end Acorn. And we decided to call our own moderation tool that we are using and building out currently Acorn, because we are creating a new way of protecting each other despite the harm we experience, right? So a lot of times when you hear people talking about the influx of digital misogynoir, anti-Blackness that people experience online, it sometimes feels flippant because people are like, well, that's just the internet, right? You can just sign off or delete your account or block people or mute people. But there still should be things in place to protect people. And being on a decentralized network allows us to be able to do that because we are able to build out these tools. And because we are rooted in community and we are rooted in self-governance and self-determination, our community can weigh in on the decisions we make to protect them, which is really important not only to the Black Sky team, but also paramount to the Black Sky community at large, and even myself as someone who is working for Black Sky and also a user of Black Sky. So with Acorn, we are connecting it to our moderation service. And basically what happens is when a report comes in, it'll go to Acorn and our moderators will be able to sign in using their BlackSky account. And a few things that we suggest for a lot of the users in our current iteration of moderation is for them to have a alternative account, and also for them to remain anonymous. We are weighing options of different forms of moderation, possibly for the future, like peer-to-peer moderation, similar to websites like Reddit and Wikipedia. But in this current moment, our moderators, besides myself and our trust and safety lead, are anonymous, and that is a choice and a decision that was made on purpose to make sure that they are safe and that we are guarding their privacy. So they would log in with their BlackSky account. And then before they start, to the right, we have a screen that we built in because moderation can be very difficult. A lot of people feel like they can moderate anything. Oh, I can handle, online harassment and moderating posts, but a lot of the things that we see online are disgusting. Just to be completely transparent, trigger warning for those that are watching for brutality and violence. We have received all types of images and videos where they have taken photos of Black folks and they have had them, beheaded or different things of them doing sexual and violent things to these different Black folks in images and videos, right? So we want to make sure that when our moderators are going in, they are checking in with themselves because moderation in general is a field that is extremely taxing. It can be really hard on your capacity and even harder on your mental health. So we built out this screen along with our developer where we check in with folks before they start moderating. We have a couple of quick reminders, and I've actually been working on quite a few resources that I've shared with our current moderators to build into this as well. So if they need any other outside resources, they are able to use those as well. And then you can also at the bottom choose if you want to do it time-based, so you can choose a time, and the system will make you take a pause when you reach that time limit, or you can do an item-based. As you can see, they have like 10, 25, 50, or you can choose an item. And when you get to that point, it will stop you. And when you go in, it has a progress bar at the top that will let you know how much time you have left or how many items you have left. And when you close out, it, asks you in particular, as you can see on the right, if you want to start a new session, if you're done, how much time did you spend, how many items did you process, and then it obviously encourages you to step away from your screen, and then also reach out if you need to talk. And we're building into our system options for folks to be able to possibly have like lo-fi music or a playlist playing for them if they want to have that while they're moderating. We also are working on building in some types of gaming that they can play. So that way, if they need to take a little break, they can play a little game within the moderation tool. On the left-hand side, there, this is what it looks like when we are about to make a report. So I have blurred out the report. I've cut it off, but I just wanted to show you this particular screen. So as you can see, I was labeling this particular report as white supremacy and misogynoir. So I selected those two labels, and then I would need to put a comment here. Right here, I just put misogynoir, but typically we encourage the moderators to add context to it. So that way, if another moderator comes in after them and this person gets another report, they can see the history of the entire account. And it's also great for the trust and safety team, myself and the trust and safety lead, to deal with any type of appeals. And we can go back and see exactly why this label was applied to this account, when it was applied, who applied it, and then what the reasoning was behind the report. Because sometimes people will delete the post, and um, even though they delete the post, we can still see the history of the moderation that was done on our back end. So we really encourage our moderators to add comments in there. And you can also do something that we call ban from TV, which means that they have no access to the Black Sky feed in particular, right? And then they can also be greenlisted. And on our moderation page, there is a tab that you can click and you can subscribe to the green list, which are all the people who have been blocked from the Black Sky feed. So that way it's like a long list of automatic blocks. And when you escalate, it will go to the trust and safety team, myself and our trust and safety lead, and we can deal with any types of suspensions or takedowns on our end, which are also open for appeals as well. And we have an entire process for that as well for folks when we do like the investigations to see if their account should be reinstated or what the next steps are with dealing with that particular appeal. So this is just a screen of what Black Sky looks like. So you can just go to blacksky.community. And when you go to blacksky.community, the Black Sky trending will automatically come up. And then the following tab will come up. And when you join Black Sky, you have an option for different handles depending on your demographics. So if you do identify as someone from the Black diaspora, you can use the .blacksky.app, as you can see. But if you are someone who is not from the Black diaspora, you can also still join blacksky.community. You just can't join the Black Sky feed because that's particular for the Black community. And those handles are my at proto.social and crypto anarchy. So you all can definitely go to blacksky.community and join today. And if you have your phone, you can scan the QR code. And if you're watching this as a playback, you can do the same as well. I am going to leave this up as I answer this particular question, and I'm also opening the floor to any other questions. So Giselle asks, have you considered adding affirmations and reminders of their worth and the decency of humans so that mods don't fall into a spiral of seeing the world as rot? I love that idea. So I have created some playlists of um, somatic instances, whether that is like meditation, sound baths. And I also have some recorded meditations that I've created myself in the past, but I really, really do love that idea of adding affirmations. And that is definitely something I can take back to our developers and they can add that in as well. Because we are building these tools ourselves, we have the really like the world is our oyster to create anything, to add anything to better support not only the Black Sky community, but also the moderators as well. So I love those ideas of affirmations, and I'm definitely going to take that back to the team. So thank you for giving that suggestion, Giselle. Does anybody else have any questions before I go to the last screen with our websites and contact information? And also, a side note, we are also funded by our community. So we have folks that subscribe and donate money to us um, for like a monthly subscription. It is not a requirement, it is optional through Open Collective. And all of the money that goes through Open Collectives allows us to build out a lot of these tools and also goes towards the different costs and stuff for us to run the server and like I said, build out the tools that we're using as well. So I will go to, oh, okay, to the last screen. So on this last screen, you will see some important websites. So blackskyweb.xyz is our main website where you can learn about all of the Black Sky team members. You can read blog posts that we've done, interviews that we've done, keep up with what talks we have. Rudy, the founder, and myself, we do a lot of different talks in different places. He's currently in South by Southwest, and I am here right now I'm in Colorado and I'm speaking tomorrow at University of Boulder on behalf of Black Sky. And obviously I'm here today virtually. So if you want to keep up with some of the things that we're doing, you can definitely check out our website. You can create an account at blacksky.community. And if you want to read any of our documentation on the services that we have, learn more about our moderation tools and labeler, understand better what our Black Sky web app is that we have now, and also have a better understanding of different things that we have going on along with updates, you can always check out docs.blacksky.community. And you can always hit us up at the support email, so support@blacksky.app as well. And at the bottom, you can follow us at blackskyweb.xyz on blacksky.community. Does anybody else have any further questions?
I don't have a I don't have a question, but I do want to compliment you on how you're taking care of the moderators because we had another one earlier today that did moderation for Facebook, and she described, awful content for, hours of, and then oh, you need a 5 minute break, and that was it. So really compliments on that, how you're really taking care of them, because I've heard a lot about the kind of stuff that moderators see, and it's really anyone who does that job really needs that mental health support. So thank you.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of horror stories. I mean, I've seen things. Our trust and safety lead has a lot of experience and background. So they themselves, Rudy has moderated a lot. So a lot of us have a lot of experience. Myself as a researcher, but also now as a practitioner. And that was one of the main things that was really important to us, is to make sure that we are working towards changes to make moderation a bit less daunting, even though like
Mm.
it's impossible to completely protect all moderators from the harm they'll come into contact with, but there are ways that we can support the moderators, and we're constantly looking for ways to better support them and always open for suggestions from not only the current moderation team, but also from our community members as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, that is all I have for you all. But again, you all can catch the playback. You can always look me up on blacksky.community. My name is Dr. KaLyn Coghill, .blacksky.team, and you can follow me on Black Sky. All right. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
You
Miss.
too. Bye.
Bye.